I am Júlia Costa, a second-year undergraduate student in social sciences with a special interest in political sciences and electoral behavior. Today, I want to talk to you about a critical issue surrounding USA's democracy: voter suppression. Despite being one of the world's leading democracies, the United States currently struggles with low voter turnout. According to the 2022 census, only 52.2% of the voting age population has participated in that year's election, with 69.1% being registered to vote. For a country that prides itself on democratic ideals, these numbers tell a troubling story. One might wonder, why don't people vote? And the answer, sadly, lies in the widespread issue of voter suppression. Voter suppression refers to deliberate strategies that make it harder for specific groups, often marginalized communities, to register or vote. Tactics like complex registration requirements, restrictive laws, intimidation, and even physical obstacles systematically limit people's voices. These methods disproportionately affect minority groups like Native Americans, immigrants, and low-income communities constantly. And by creating barriers to participation, these tactics undermine the very principles of representation and equal voice. Although it seems like a recent issue due to high level of political polarization the country has been facing for the last few years, this isn't a new problem. The nation's history is thoroughly marred by exclusionary policies, as can be seen by enormous struggles women and African Americans, for example, faced against suffrage and ended up being systematically disfranchised long after constitutional amendments promised them voting rights. Today, some of these old tactics have evolved into modern laws that continue to affect voter participation. For instance, in Florida, one of the biggest swing states in the US, a population of more than a million of former convicts won the right to vote in 2018, only to face new barriers requiring them to pay all outstanding fees and fines, a huge burden for many already facing economic hardship. The progress made over the decades shows that we can fight these barriers, but recent tactics show that the battle isn't over yet. If we truly believe in a democratic system based on freedom and fair representation, then we must confront these suppressive tactics head on. We need to speak against arbitrary rules that might invalidate votes, advocate for laws that promote accessibility, protect people against voter intimidation, and ensure every citizen's voice can be heard without obstruction. Let's commit to upholding the integrity of the democratic process by fighting against systems that exclude or silence votes. Every voice matters, and true democracy depends on each one being heard. I hope this speech has given you a clear understanding of the concept of voter suppression. Thank you for listening and for your commitment to a fair, more inclusive democracy. Together, we can make a difference.